Along the central axis of Beijing, 46 kilometers south of Tiananmen, a massive landmark building has been completed. This is Beijing Daxing International Airport. Along with Beijing Capital International Airport in the north, it will support the coordinated development of the Beijing-Tianjin-Hebei region.
We've had a first glimpse inside.
Daxing Airport has received global attention since construction began. In 2016, The Guardian newspaper called it the first of the 7 wonders of the New World. The terminal complex of this airport is more than 3 times the size of Tiananmen Square. It is expected to be one of the largest airports in the world. It took 16 years to choose the site and 4 years to design it. Designers from China and abroad drew over 200,000 blueprints. Construction took 54 months and involved hundreds of thousands of workers.
从工期方面，从整个新技术应用方面，都是前所未有的一个挑战。
The largest free camber steel structure used in the airport is made up of 63,450 rod pieces and 12,300 spherical joints. The roof was lifted and welded in the air over 80 days. Nearly 500 kilometers of steel pipes were used. It was a gigantic project that was unparalleled in difficulty.
同样一件事儿，同样一个系统。 它的体量就决定了它的难度。
111 days before the airport goes into operation, over 8,000 pieces of roof glass and 40,000 decorative alloy plates had been assembled. Workers were adjusting their angles to create the optimal effect. More than 40 domestic and world records were set. 98% of the materials and parts used were produced domestically.
就感觉哎呀，终于有这么一天来了。其实要说吧，整个3年来，每天都有故事。
能参与这么一个工程，确实感到挺荣幸的。
内心是非常的激动。
The construction workers have left the site. But for this mega airport, the test has only just started. July 1st, 2019. One day after the new airport is completed, the countdown to the official opening begins. 7,000 kilometers of expressways were built in China in 2019. Why did it take 2.5 years to complete the 27-kilometer-long Beijing Daxing International Airport Expressway? 86% of the expressway is made up of bridges, forming a vertical 3-dimensional structure together with the Daxing Airport Express and Tuanhe Road. 2 other lines, the Beijing-Shunan Intercity Railway and the utility tunnel, are also integrated into this complex structure. It is a design that is unprecedented in the history of China's infrastructure construction. The airport is scheduled to open in 86 days. The 19.9-kilometer utility tunnel is ready to be put into service.
咱们现在是在这个位置，
对，
咱们要去
走到这儿，
去这个位置。
那最长就是700多米，
那600多米
啊。
Liu Qi's team is conducting a final check of the monitoring system. The new airport's utility tunnel has surpassed the traditional functions of a sewage system. Its various pipes and lines ensure enough electricity, communication, heating, and water supplies to guarantee the smooth operation of a city of millions of people. Laying this solid foundation is essential for making the airport's Millennium opening target possible.
头是80，这是有电的。那就这样，我上去，然后你拿那红标笔打，行，看看是不是先看看光纤。这不用钥匙，电笔。
A fault has been detected. It has to be dealt with as soon as possible to ensure that the monitoring center can track the status of the utility tunnel in real time. It takes more than 3 hours to walk through the narrow, 15-kilometer-long tunnel. Using only human labor to do the troubleshooting is too time-consuming.
还没有。
Intelligent design is everywhere. 400 infrared high-definition probes are placed at 70-meter intervals. The slightest change will trigger a highly sensitive alarm. Technicians can enter the tunnel from any of 8 entrances. It takes no more than 5 minutes for them to reach the site of a malfunction, even if it is located at the farthest end.
哎，刘哥，我这边的网线测试没问题，您看一下有没有画面？
行。你在前面挥下手，我看看。
哎，刘哥能看我吗？
啊，行，能看见你，
国门动脉嘛，你想一个人的这个血脉是非常重要的。我们的官网都埋在地下，藏在这个最不起眼的地方，因为最好的地方肯定都是光鲜亮丽的嘛，大家又看不见我们，所以呢，我们就是隐形的翅膀。
These invisible wings lead to the basement level of the terminal building. From the air, the copper-colored building resembles a steel phoenix in mid-flight. This masterpiece by Chinese and foreign designers perfectly combines technology and art. In the 700,000 square meter terminal building, 10 perfectly designed C-shaped pillars create a dynamic dreamscape. This ingenious design was inspired by a series of soap bubble experiments, which German architect Frei Otto conducted in the 1960s. When the soap film is stretched, the pressure in each direction is the same, a feature that enabled him to obtain minimal surfaces. The upper opening is cleverly designed as a bubble skylight, which provides ample light for the terminal's interior. But while this environmentally friendly design saves on space, it also has higher operational and management requirements.
大空间，连续的大空间，大面积的玻璃幕墙，像这个采光天窗，也是为了这个视觉啊、通透性的要求。人员分布很不均匀，因为有到岗的流程、出岗的流程，这些对空调来说都是设计的一个难点。
In July, temperatures in Beijing can reach 40 degrees Celsius. The first comprehensive drill at Daxing Airport is 18 days away, when 1,000 passengers will test this new airport. The temperature in the building can get up to 35 degrees Celsius. Cooling it down is an urgent task. On July 3rd, the 666 air conditioning units in the terminal are turned on for the first time.
静电正常，表冷器正常，拧水没有溢出，送风机运行正常，排风机未开，冷水阀开度100，风机声音正常，屏幕显示正常，控制柜的电器元件检查正常。
There are 16 days to go before the first comprehensive test. It's barely enough time to cool down this massive terminal building.
说实在的，这种综合体，然后又这种大挑高的，在国内来控制这个温度梯度，都是一个非常难的事情。这个需要我们在调节过程中不断的摸索。
Most of the heat comes from the dome, the largest of its kind in the world. The framework of the roof lighting system is made of steel and is covered by more than 8,000 pieces of customized glass of various shapes. It's composed of a central skylight, 6 strip-shaped skylights, and 8 bubble windows. This allows energy consumption to be 20% lower than in other terminal buildings of a similar size. However, the high thermal conductivity and the skylights make it harder to keep the temperature down. Can it be brought to 25 degrees Celsius in 16 days? Tian Zhuegong works on the apron, and part of his job is to fight the high temperatures. But why does an empty apron need to be cooled down? At an altitude of 10,000 meters, passengers are protected from temperatures outside the cabin that can drop below -10 degrees Celsius. This is because the aircraft engine can regulate the cabin temperature through the air conditioning system. The problem starts when the plane lands and taxis into the parking stand and the engine shuts down. The skin of an airplane is mostly made of metal, and the apron is made of highly heat-absorbing concrete. The scorching sun above it and the hot ground beneath it, the metal skin could turn everything inside the cabin into barbecued meat wrapped in tinfoil. Of course, this rarely happens, as all modern airports are equipped with aircraft ground air conditioning systems under the jet bridge. But Daxing Airport is trying something new.
咱们今天下午就是要测试一下这个 A380 机位的飞机空调系统，它的这个出风能力。
But why are there no ground air conditioners on the apron in Daxing Airport? The ground air conditioning system is quite unique. The refrigerating unit is next to the terminal building. The high-pressure fresh air unit is under the fixed end of the jet bridge. And the air supply pipe, which connects the terminal and the aircraft, is in the apron's underground shaft. With this design, the 4-ton air conditioner doesn't need to be mounted on the jet bridge. It also improves the energy efficiency of the air conditioning system. This ingenious design saves over 8 million yuan in operation costs every year.
低温的制冷系统已经达到了负5度的标准了。然后接下来呢，咱们要开启这个2号登机桥下边的3台高压吸风机组，其中关键的参数就是送风温度一定要达到0度才可以。
Everything being attempted here is new. Workers are about to find out if they have been successful. This new design is supposed to send cool air to passengers through more than 300 hoses. Air starts to come out of the outlet, but there's a problem. The temperature hasn't reached 0 degrees Celsius. Workers hunt for the source of the problem.
机温度刚才是不是停了？
没有，那个下去已经查了，去查那个阀，看是不是阀开的太多了。
那还是这个水力平衡的问题。
对。
Half an hour later, the outlet air temperature is below 0 degrees Celsius, and the wind pressure is stable. Tianzhe Gong is satisfied with the data, but he can't relax just yet. Daxing Airport has 79 terminal stands, and there are 78 more waiting to be checked. By July 18th, the 666 air conditioning units have been operating for 15 days, but the temperature on the 4th floor of the terminal building has still not reached 25 degrees Celsius. The comprehensive drill is just 20 hours away. As a major international transport center, Daxing Airport will receive passengers from countries with climates that range from tropical to freezing. To provide the most comfortable environment possible for everyone, the indoor temperature must be kept at 25 degrees Celsius.
这物理大家都学过啊，热空气的密度是最轻的，所有的热空气全往上跑，然后呢，所有的热空气呢全汇集到4楼，所以这个4楼的温度的控制是最麻烦的。
The key to this task lies in controlling the temperature on the 4th floor, where most of the check-in counters and international departure lounges are located. This will be the airport's busiest area, and thus the biggest source of human body heat.
我们要做的是把热空气放到上头，让它不要动了，然后呢，把咱们人体这个高度的，或者比更高一点啊，这个区域的温度给它控制住就可以了。
There is no shortcut in this job. The team has to test the temperature of more than 10,000 air outlets every 2 hours and constantly adjust the operating parameters of the air conditioning units.
25.8。
After a hot and sleepless night, the temperature on the 4th floor has finally been brought down to 25 degrees Celsius. But it is still not clear if the air conditioning system can withstand the sunlight and the passenger flow during the daytime. 27 kilometers away, airport expressway workers are also busy making preparations to ensure that the 64 entrances and 6 interchanges are all unimpeded. The first test is about to start, and the passengers are about to arrive.
空调机组462台，楼内保障区域的平均温度呢是25摄氏度，已经能达到我们桥的保障温度。
After a series of last-minute checks on water, electricity, and heating supplies, the Power and Energy team has only 15 minutes for a final meeting. More than 1,000 passengers have set out from various parts of Beijing for Daxing Airport. This is the Airport Operations Center, the brain of the new airport. There are 137 command seats and 43 organizations and departments here, making it a unified body that transcends managerial boundaries. If any problem occurs, the on-duty manager can directly contact the party concerned to deal with it. It is an unprecedented method of airport management.
第一次综合演练不涉及机组流程，但是我看到现场有机组过来了，然后所有的机组都按照模拟旅客的流程去。
The builders and operators of Daxing Airport and the families of civil aviation staff are playing the roles of passengers. These 1,182 people will be the first to try out the new airport and see the kind of service it offers. At 10:28, airport staff are given a surprise test. A passenger has suddenly become ill. The operations center quickly sends rescue staff to the scene. After confirming the illness, the passenger is sent for treatment. The entire emergency rescue takes under 5 minutes.
救护车已驶离航站楼。报告完毕。
It's 2 p.m., the hottest time of the day, and the temperature in the terminal building stays at 25 degrees Celsius. Back at the AOC, Chi Feng can finally breathe a sigh of relief. The second comprehensive test will be held in 14 days. Preparations are being made in the areas not covered by the air conditioning system. The temperature in the working lane is nearly 40 degrees Celsius. Engineers have to check over 7,100 overhead LED lights here. Thanks to advances in modern information technology, the smart airport has become a reality. Every light in the airport carries an independent address code, allowing it to sense the surrounding illumination and adjust the brightness accordingly. This can reduce the lighting system's energy consumption by 1/3. After 5 hours, the debugging work is finally completed.
10个小时左右的这个时间，大兴机场的第一次综合演练。应该说在各单位的这个积极支持、配合和努力下，咱们的第一次这个综合演练取得了圆满成功。
The test has been a success. Daxing Airport is a major landmark project of Beijing, and quality, safety, and integrity are key. The airport will serve as a new engine for the country's future development. It's a continuous process of checking, learning, and improving. Decorating is a time-consuming job, and the Daxing Airport Express will begin its trial operation in just 2 weeks.
17年3月份，我们地下段开始打桩。咱们高峰期的时候，那个土建加设备加装修，高峰期的时候达到7000到8000人。
The Daxing Airport Express is 41.36 kilometers long and is designed to travel at 160 kilometers per hour, twice the speed of ordinary urban subways. It has taken 30 months to complete and allows Daxing Airport to realize three-dimensional transfer and seamless connection. Equipment installation also presents a huge challenge. The terminal building requires 247,000 pieces of equipment, 1,800 kilometers of cables and wires, and air ducts with a total area equivalent to 73 standard football pitches, more than any other airport in the world. Daxing Airport took only 4 years to build. That's the equivalent to an 18-story building being built every day. Designers from 11 countries took part in the early stage design of the terminal building. At its peak, more than 70,000 people were working on the site, with 0 accidents reported during the entire process. However, completing the construction is only the first step. Feedback from test passengers and assessment teams in the first drill highlighted more than 40 problems in 6 categories. These need to be solved before the second comprehensive drill, which is just 10 days away. A fire has broken out. At 10 a.m., tank number 8 at the aviation oil depot, 8 kilometers away from the terminal building, caught fire due to improper operation, posing a threat to nearby oil tanks and pipelines. Firefighters immediately go into action and arrive at the scene at 10:10. They quickly survey, cordon off, and evacuate the area, and carry out cooling and anti-explosion measures. The first joint fire drill at Daxing Airport has begun.
一个新的机场，新的环境。首先呢，我们从首都机场抽了骨干人员，然后第二步的话呢，作战人员啊，他的培训周期实在是太短了。在招聘的时候，就是要求退伍的消防员，而且呢，你离开消防部队不要超过2年。
For any airport, fire safety is something that can't be compromised. The firefighters and equipment are not yet in place, but the airport's opening date is drawing nearer. As time is tight, the airport's fire department has decided to conduct the drill and build the team at the same time. Within 40 minutes, the fire at the oil depot is extinguished.
"因为你这边我可能供水方面对你叫的比较多，还有一个呢，你在车下边操作噪音比较大，把你的电台一定听好了啊！所有需要解决的问题都给它解决了，大家有没有信心？"
All the teams are racing against time to test their systems. In the future, Daxing Airport is expected to handle 1,050 flights per day, which means the baggage system will have to deal with up to 15,000 pieces of luggage per hour. This is the largest baggage handling system ever developed in China. If connected end-to-end, the total length of the conveyors would exceed 32 kilometers.
"怎么样，弄好没有？哎，李哥，我问一下那个你在西侧什么地方嘛？现在3月份才开始说大面积的开始调，所以说这个时间比较赶，我们主要是抢时间。接电话，我知道。哎，先切那边嘛，条码先放在那边了，把那边换了。
Zhou Peng is the chief debugging engineer of Daxing Airport's baggage handling system and has been working on this project for 10 months. He and his team have built baggage handling systems for large airports in Chongqing, Changchun, Guilin, and many other cities. But the complexity of the system in Daxing Airport is beyond what they expected.
你这线都空着呢。
这个是哪个线啊？
长马乡线嘛，那个串口线嘛，可能没接的。
The terminal building's first underground floor, third and fourth floors, are for departures, while the first and second floor are for arrivals. As international and domestic flights are vertically distributed, the baggage handling system must have 2 sets of inbound and outbound handling equipment. The airport's 5-fingered structure may save passengers boarding time and make operations more efficient, but also leaves less space for the baggage handling system.
鉴于这个空间限制嘛，你们面积只有那么多，只能往高处想，采取高度的方式，这个高度把它重叠起来，就跟你建大楼一样。
Innovation and challenge go hand in hand. The 32-kilometer baggage conveyor belt is folded into 5 layers and installed in the terminal building, along with the air pipes, water pipes, and various electrical pipes. Over the past 3 years, Zhou Peng has carried out thousands of tests on the system.
我们行李系统有个特点，不是说通过一两次测试就完全没有什么问题了。即使没有问题，我们也会反复的测，类似于大数据，我们这样来评定这个系统好不好用。那个。
With only 55 days to go before the airport is put into operation, the terminal's electromechanical system hasn't been turned on. Baggage can only be transferred from the 1st to the 4th floor by hand. The second comprehensive drill takes place tomorrow. The number of flights, passengers, and baggage will be twice that of the first drill. Today's stress test is the last opportunity for Zhou Peng's team to find defects in the system.
今天我们是准备做一个压力测试，总共有1600件行李，放了65件可疑的行李。我们要准确的把这65件行李全部踢出来，保证准确的分拣率达到100%，半个小时之内全部要完成。
Zhou Peng's team has to be ready for the most extreme situations. The pieces of luggage that will be tested are in place. Before turning on the machine, the luggage tags have to be replaced. This job is not as trivial as it seems.
这里有一个芯片。 包括了我们的这些离港信息，就是条码号航班号，它都会写在这个芯片里面。通过这个识别系统，就是说我们的 RFID 这个识别系统，把它识别出来。以前我们老的方式就是识别这个嘛，识别这个，假如说我被压住了，然后呢就是识别不了。然后现在呢就有了这个芯片以后啊，你即使被压住，它也能准确的识别。钟长，给李正南说一下 A 岛的行李放下来。我们看到了。
The test begins. The 1,600 pieces of luggage are loaded in sequence. The system reads the information contained in the electronic tags and devises the optimal route for each piece of luggage to take. The process turns out to be more complicated than it seems. After the first round of testing, the system fails to meet 100% accuracy. 3 pieces of luggage haven't reached their planned destination.
那你看一下，没开，感觉这里面可以。细胞还是有的，他们还在统计量的话，应该不是很大。看了一下，量应该没有几个。主要是看是什么原因造成的，有可能是那跟丢的呀。 有可能是行李不规则，然后导致那个堵包的呀，查一下是什么原因。还有17、16、15，一直到14都没转。
我刚刚把它开起来，那个17是没有开始信号。
The pieces of luggage were rejected due to their irregular shape. With less than 20 hours left before the drill starts, Zhou Peng and his team are racing against the clock to attain 100% accuracy. It's 10 a.m., and Yang Fan is ready to go. He and the ground service team of China Eastern Airlines have been living in a hotel since March.
怎么样？准备好了？行，没问题。应该一次比一次好。对。
The ground service personnel at the check-in counters are the first people that arriving passengers meet at the terminal. This is followed by inquiries, check-in, baggage drop-off, and boarding.
把这边都打开，我都打开。对对对，现在就动，现在就动。再调，再调，再调。今天大概我们保障500人次的量，我们安排外边值机这一块30人左右，负责登机那一块可能有20人，不到20人，还有连同中转，还有涉及其他部门，包括行李部门，还有其他的这个运行指挥类的。
The test passengers will arrive in 2 hours. The automatic check-in counters are a key part of the test, and no one is sure how well they will function.
信息第一，在15分钟内各就各位，检查设备，准备业务用品。现在自助值机和行李这些设备都是在试运行，我们还在不断的调试，不断的在更新这个系统的内部的一些功能。有可能原来没有收费功能的机器，后来可以升级变成可以收费的。
Over the past 3 months, Yang Fan and his colleagues have come up with 3 separate plans to help passengers who are unfamiliar with these new devices. However, the team is still nervous. They try to hide their concern as the passengers arrive. At 5 p.m., 2,456 test passengers taking 44 international and domestic flights start to arrive at the terminal. This is the only night drill before Daxing Airport officially goes into operation and will last 6 hours. The first thing that passengers do when stepping into this unique venue is take photos. 1 hour later, as departure time approaches, passenger flow reaches its peak.
那我就在前3排这块，我就左右，我就盯着这3台机器，有人摁不好了，那我就过去帮他了。你要哪个？
有了。
有了吗？
有了。
好，我直接办就可以了。
This is the first time that self-service check-in technology has been used in China on a large scale. In theory, the process should be simple. However, Yang Fan's worst fears come true.
杨班。
喂，你好。
这航班值机系统故障，现场无法为旅客办理升级手续，系统目前故障。
我们很抱歉地通知您，乘坐的航班暂时无法办理升级手续。
This is the last thing passengers want to hear. Will this cause their flights to be delayed?
杨班，听讲，17、18、19切换到人工柜台，切换完毕。来，刘松办理一下。好，谢谢。对。
The purpose of the drill is to discover and solve problems so that the airport will run efficiently when it opens. Meanwhile, the checked baggage has been loaded onto the sorting system, waiting to be reunited with their owners. Data on 2,000 pieces of baggage from 7 check-in areas has been entered into the system, and each one is given an exclusive route. But the influx of luggage has caused a route overlap problem. Zhou Peng and his team worked through the night for yesterday's test, but they still can't relax. The system is able to activate and shut down each motor, selecting the best path for each bag to take. All 6,000 motors are running at full capacity, and the speed of the conveyor is set at 1 meter per second. Can the luggage arrive at the 16 carousels on time and in the right place? Night falls on the airport, but its interior is well illuminated. Passengers taking night flights are wandering around the airport or resting quietly. In order not to disturb the passengers, Yang Xin and his team decide to test the lighting in the closed airside corridor.
行走区的旅客需要照明要亮一些，旅客在候机区的，他可能想休息一下，安静的看会儿书。我们先测一下这个区域吧，就是旅客行走区的这个照度。对，这个区域的这个地面照度也能到268勒克斯，然后去看一下那个旅客休息区的这个照度。这个区域它是上照都没有上照灯的，相差将近有5倍的这个照度，所以说这个区域旅客在这休息、闭目养神什么的，比较适合安静的一个区域。他们想看一下，我觉得那个地儿想看一下效果。
This ability to precisely manage the lighting of different areas not only meets passengers' various needs, but also greatly reduces energy consumption. The building uses the Dali Intelligent Lighting Control System, which allows each of the 5,980 lights to be adjusted from the control center. Every test is an opportunity for the system to gather more data and become smarter. By learning the habits of passengers, it will know how to adjust the lights independently. However, a few lights are still not doing as they're told.
昨天东南是不是也端头不也控制不了吗？对对。啊？
到时候只能。
他那炸箱在哪儿啊？
炸箱好像是在。
The first full system lighting test of the terminal will take place in 3 hours, when all the passengers have left. Yang Xin and his team continue to fine-tune the test plan. Meanwhile, another team is also preparing to debug their system. Tonight, the ice storage system will be activated for the first time.
在大型机场这边呢，我们有一套这个新的这个供冷系统，是这个蓄冰系统，这块呢是和首都机场不一样的。
The refrigeration station is located on the first floor of the parking building. Unlike other airports, in addition to the refrigeration units, there's also a huge ice storage pool. The price of electricity in Beijing is time-based. At night, when the price is low, the power and energy section produces and stores abundant ice. During the daytime, it melts to release cold air, relieving the burden on the air conditioning system during peak hours. If this system can run smoothly, it will reduce urban electricity consumption and also cut down operation costs by millions of yuan every year.
那么今天呢，是咱们这个大兴机场制冷站第一次做这个整体的蓄冰实验。然后我们现在咱们脚底下踩的是咱们的蓄冰池。
冻完冰以后，它会往上涨。然后我把这个它涨多少啊？我把这个尺子给绑在这儿，过一会儿看一下涨多少。哎，你再扶着点，来，你再扶着，扶着。
大兴机场呢是一个非常先进的一个机场，怎么能把这个先进的设备驾驭好？这就相当于是这个法拉利和舒马赫的关系，就是有一辆好车，它得有一个number one 的这个车手，他才能够法拉利车队才能成为世界的冠军。
After lasting more than 5 hours, the drill comes to an end. 2,000 pieces of luggage from 5 check-in areas have been accurately sorted, with the first inbound baggage arriving within 13 minutes, more efficient than any other airport of the same size. At night, the venue is cleared. The first full system lighting test is about to start. The night lighting is centered in the atrium, but its special spatial structure makes it harder to control the illuminance.
这个位置就是咱们那航楼那个正中心，国旗挂的位置，就是咱们这个航楼的中心位置。你看它这有几个这个类型的下照灯，这个区域的上照灯照上来以后反射到这个地方，然后这个边上也有很多侧面的这种补光，给它这个地方照明的这个灯光类型就比较多。我们现在关一下正中央隔音区的这个大力灯。
好的，收到。好，别人。
这个比较明显，对，这个我照的比较明显，容管上也还行。
其实它这冰槽里边应该更
对。
Crystal ice spreads on the pond, which means the ice storage system has started to function. At the same time, 20,000 LED lights are turned on and off in sequence. This private light show, being staged in Daxing Airport, demonstrates a perfect combination of technology and aesthetics. Many more sleepless nights await the airport staff. In 24 days, actual flights will be taking off and landing at Daxing Airport. The real test is about to begin.